Today we are going to discuss about respiration. What is this respiration? Basically, anyone, everyone has observed this phenomena of respiration. It is simply the inhaling in of the oxygen and exhaling out of the carbon dioxide. So this respiration basically in, results in the inhalation of the oxygen, and this respiration is a very important phenomenon. You can live without food, you can live without water for many days, but you cannot live without oxygen for even a minute. So this respiration is really important process, and it is this respiration which brings about oxygen inside the body, and this oxygen brings about the oxidation of the food which you eat, which is the part of the digestive system. But this oxygen is very important so that the food which has been digested inside the body to be converted into energy and other metabolic products. So in this lecture, I will tell you about the main respiratory organ which is involved, the region where the respiration actually takes place, the exchange of gases actually takes place, and I will also show the 3D model of the movement of the rib cage or the respiratory cage. So in this picture, you can see that there is this rib cage, the one represented in yellow. This rib cage basically comprises of the left ribs normal, which are represented in yellow, the right ribs normal, the manubrium, the body of the sternum, and the xiphoid process. This complete the manubrium, body of the sternum, and xiphoid process is basically the sternum. Sternum is the chest bone which is located on the front side in the chest or the thoracic region. Then these ribs on the right and the left side are connected with the sternum with the help of these costal cartilages. And on the back side there is vertebral column. So these complete the sternum in the front, the ribs on the side, and the vertebral column on the back forms a respiratory cage or the rib cage or the thoracic cavity in the thorax region. And it is this cage inside which the main respiratory organ, which is the lungs, lie. And beneath this lung is present the diaphragm, which is a very important characteristic of the mammal. And because of the contraction of these diaphragm and the intercostal muscles of the ribs, the rib cage moves upwards and outwards, and as a result, the space inside the rib cavity, rib cage increases, and the pressure inside the lungs decreases. This forces the fresh air to rush inside the lungs. And when these muscles relaxes, the space decreases and the pressure inside the lung increases, and this forces the foul air consisting of the carbon dioxide to be exhaled out. Now I will show you about the alveoli, the main region where the exchange of the gases takes place. This is the cross section of the alveoli. This is the cross section of the alveoli, and you can clearly see the different parts which are involved here. Basically, the respiratory tract comprises of the mouth, the nose, nostrils, pharynx, larynx, trachea, and this trachea then divides, when it approaches the lungs, it divides into two branches, the primary bronchioles, that enter into each of the lungs, the left and the right lungs. And inside the lungs, they further divide into finer branches, the secondary bronchioles, the tertiary bronchioles, and lastly the respiratory bronchioles, and the last part of respiratory bronchioles is called terminal bronchioles. At the end of the terminal bronchioles, there are present bunch of sac-like structures which are referred to as alveoli, and it is this region where the actual exchange of the oxygen and the carbon dioxide take place. So you can see that the one represented in the orange around the respiratory bronchiole are the muscles. The one represented in yellow are the respiratory bronchiole. The one represented in peach is the terminal bronchiole. And these are the alveoli, these sac-like structure. They are usually present in the bundle of 20 to 40. So all these are the alveoli. These alveoli has this alveoli, this is the alveolar interior and this is the alveolar bottom. So this alveoli is surrounded by it is highly vascular, it is surrounded by a large number of the blood vessels, And it is this region where the pulmonary artery, the artery that carries the deoxygenated blood, which is the only exception of the artery which has the deoxygenated blood, surrounds this alveoli. And because by the law of diffusion, because the partial pressure of oxygen is more inside the alveoli, the oxygen will diffuse from the alveoli to the blood. And because the blood is highly deoxygenated, it has high concentration of the carbon dioxide. Therefore, the carbon dioxide will move from the blood to the alveoli, and from alveoli this foul air consisting of the carbon dioxide will be exhaled out. Thank you so much.